Hello and welcome to week 2 of Action Figure Wrestling. Last week, the Thursday night throwdown began. This week, we battle for supremacy. Which brand will be the A show? I am your host, the Commissioner, Mr. Down the Middle, the man in charge of keeping these two egos in check, Mr. Dylan Gilbert. And with me are my two co-hosts, the heads of their respective brands. Introduce yourself, Daredevil Dave Dahl.
It is your friend, your hero, your My House Sports Gear sponsored athlete, Retromania Wrestling's Virgil, the king of the downvote, the head of AFW Breakdown, the supreme brand here, Daredevil Dave Dahl. And once again, I am bringing you an action-packed, good storytelling extravaganza.
Also with us, as always, the El Presidente of Carnage, Jerry Cook.
A.K.A. Jerry Damage, A.K.A. the Major Brawler, A.K.A. the Major Dad, A.K.A. look at this buff action figure of myself. Oh, wait, and who's this? It's Daredevil wearing a Carnage shirt because he knows what's up. That's right.
The trash
Wait, he
talking
did something
is
right,
started
unlike
already.
his audio.
What's that? What I do?
Peek behind the curtain. We got tagged. If you listen to the YouTube version of episode 1.
That's not what I was talking about, but we'll go with it. I was just talking about because he fumbled over his audio.
You know. Hey, look, I fumbled too, man. We all heard. Just in the intro, I had that 5 seconds of my brain shutting down. You know, it's late, but we're here, and we're ready to bring you an action-packed episode of Action Figure Wrestling. So last week, Carnage went first, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. See, I won the coin toss and deferred.
Won the coin toss and deferred, which means this week we're going to have the Breakdown brand open us up. So, let me get my trusty timer ready here. Dave, are you ready to open this thing up?
Let me make sure my volume's up. Yeah, I'm ready, mi amigo.
All right, countdown timer starts now.
Wrestling action figures needed an alternative. They needed a new era. They needed a change. Ladies and gentlemen, AFW is that change. Welcome to AFW Breakdown!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Daredevil Dave Dahl bringing you all the action here at AFW Breakdown. And welcome to week 2. Last episode, we had a stellar action-packed extravaganza, just like we will have for you tonight. And last week, Mr. Ellering made a 3-way match to move on in the tournament for the World Championship. But we now take you to the ring, where we are joined by... My music's not in order. The Lucha Kings are standing in the ring. Rey Mysterio, Lucha, and the Lucha Bros. There we go. I was about to say Lucha Pentagon for some reason. And Lucha Pentagon, they're in the ring.
JR moment.
And they are looking hot and angry. As we went off the air last week, Rey Mysterio made the save as the Clique was beating down the Lucha Brothers. And Rey has the mic, and he's like, listen, you vatos. You want to beat down my brothers here? You want to beat down the Lucha Kings? Well, I want you to come out here right now and face us face to face. And just like they ask, you get. Out to the stage comes Shawn Michaels, flanked by Triple H, who's flanked by Hall and Kevin Nash, Diesel or Razor, if you will. Shawn goes, you three punks, don't have anything on us. You three punks can't beat us on your best day. And Ray says, aha, shut up, Sean. You think you're so great. But me and the Lucha Brothers here, we're challenging you three that aren't in the main event tonight. Triple H, Razor Ramon, and Diesel to a 6-man tag match. Can you keep up with the Lucha Kings? Ya puntos? And all three of them get hot, and they say yes, yes, and scream yes, and start storming down the ring as we cut to commercial break. We come back from break, and you had the start of the match, and the speed of the Lucha Kings are just throwing off the Click. Razor can't keep up with Phoenix. Diesel can't keep up with Penta, and Ray is out maneuvering Triple H like it's nobody's business. And as they keep going and going, they are making quick tags in and out, and the Click is getting just frustrated making quick tags in and out to try to combat them. And it's a giant whirlwind of speed and head scissors and hurricanranas and everything else that the Lucha Brothers and Rey Mysterio do. And finally, Triple H gets in. Ray goes for a tilt-a-whirl, head scissors, and gets caught as Triple H muscles him back and gives him a big back breaker. And we fade to commercial break.
26 minutes, 17 seconds.
Seg 3. We come back, and Diesel is working over Pentagon Jr. He tags in Razor Ramon, and they're going for a double team. Phoenix with a blind tag. Penta ducks a double clothesline. They turn around. Double drop kick springboard by Phoenix. And he gets up on Razor Ramon, just laying in the punches like Razor was doing to him at the end of last week. And he keeps going, and he just keeps laying it in. Finally, Razor's able to push him off and roll to the corner. Phoenix comes running in, eats a back elbow. Razor comes in with a big clothesline. Bang! Grabs it by the arm and takes him over to the corner and tags in Triple H. Triple H gets on the middle rope. Double axe handle to the arm. Triple H now going after Phoenix. Whips him off the ropes. Goes for that big spine buster. Phoenix rolls over top for a sunset. Rolls Triple H through. Super kick. Bang. Tags in Rey Mysterio. Ray runs in. Ray runs at him. Triple H pops him up. Ray goes over top of Triple H, avoiding the attack. Hits the ropes. Drop kick to the back. Triple H is set up on the ropes for the 619. Ray hits the 619 as Lucha Brothers go and attack Razor and Diesel off the apron. Ray climbs up to hit the frog splash. But what's this? Out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels appears on the apron, pulls him off to the apron, and super kicks Ray right in front of the referee. The referee calls for the bell and announces that the Lucha Kings have won by disqualification. Shawn Michaels is laughing as Diesel and Razor turning around on Penta and Phoenix, throwing Penta into the guardrail and Phoenix into the stairs, and just laying some shots in as they get back in the ring, all laughing, and Triple H selling his head, kind of chuckling, and they all raise their hands as we fade to commercial break.
24 minutes even.
All right. Doing good. Seg 4. We cut to Dusty Rhodes in the back with John Laurinaitis. And Dusty says, "Listen here, Johnny, baby. Last week I challenged them boys, the Legion of Doom, to a tag team title match at Lockdown. And they accepted. But the thing is, I don't have a partner. And I don't know who my partner is going to be. But I'm working on it, baby." And just then, the Legion of Doom and Paul Ellering walk in. And they say, "Listen here, Dusty. We don't know who you think you are making challenges like this. What we know ain't nobody have your back. You screwed too many of the boys, being Booker Man back in the day, for them to come and help you. You played with their money. You played with their bookings. And now You're going to pay in your blood. And then Hawk grabs the mic. What a rush at lockdown, dusty roads. We put an end to you. Animal just shakes his head menacing as they walk off, and we fade to the commercial. Not black, because it's not the end of the show. And we now, at Seg 5, go back to the ring for your next contest. Ladies and gentlemen, now making his way to the ring from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, by way of North Carolina, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega. And Kenny makes his way to the ring in only Kenny fashion, slow and methodical, looking around, just with that cocky smirk on his face, thinking he has this match in the bag. And his opponent,
Stand back.
from Metropolis, the only resident superhero here in AFW Breakdown, the Hurricane. Hurricane makes his way to the ring, still sulking a little bit from his loss to Diesel in such pitiful fashion. And he comes into the match, takes off his cape, goes to shake Kenny's hand, and Kenny just slaps it away. And when he slaps his hand away, he shoots it back and grabs Kenny again by the throat, trying to muster his strength to chokeslam Kenny. Kenny takes both arms, smacks his arms down, hits a big V trigger, puts him up for the one-winged angel. But Hurricane summons his Hurra powers and fights out of it. And Hurricane starts his little comeback with a clothesline, a big back elbow, grabs him, gets whipped off the ropes, comes in with a standing body, crossbody. Bam. Hurricane does his signature pose, and he's playing to the crowd. What's this? Out of the tunnel comes. We saw an altercation between these two backstage last week. Out from the tunnel comes Doink the Clown, and he has his infamous bucket. That water bucket he splashed on Hurricane last week. He comes out, and Hurricane's like, "What are you doing out here? Why are you out here? I want nothing to do with you. Going back to the back." Doink's just like, "I'm just out here to get a better view." And Hurricane's still yelling at him as Kenny Omega is sneaking up from behind. Doink splashes the water in Hurricane's face once again. Hurricane turns around, eats a V trigger, gets put up for the one-winged angel, gets put down. 1, 2, 3. Here's your winner by pinfall, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega celebrating, Doink laughing his butt off as we fade to commercial break.
19 minutes, 5 seconds.
19 minutes, 5 seconds. Woohoo. And we're at Seg 6. Time goes by really fast when you're doing this.
Yeah, it does.
I don't feel like I'm taking that long. Seg 6. Making. No, not that one. It's really hard we don't have these in a specific order. There it is. Making their way to the ring from the prehistoric era, Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, the Jurassic Express. Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy make their way to the ring, all excited to make their AFW breakdown. I forgot I still need more music. And they're all excited, cheering it up with the fans. And their opponents from North Carolina, Matt and Jeff, the Hardys. Matt and Jeff come out in all their fashion, Jeff doing his usual gunpoint dance. Matt Hardy saying delete, delete, delete. They make their way to the ring. It's a very competitive match, back and forth, very competitive. Both teams not really getting the upper hand. Jeff Hardy goes for a twist of fate, gets reversed out, tail whip by Luchasaurus. Matt Hardy then hits a twist of fate on Luchasaurus. I wasn't trying to impersonate The Rock.
Take a shot.
Trying to hits Luchasaurus with a twist of fate. Jungle Boy comes up from behind and rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Jurassic Express gets the victory over the Hardy Boys in a well-deserved, very competitive matchup. It was all luck there for the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, beating one of the greatest tag teams to ever exist. The Hardys get back in the ring and shake Jurassic Express hands, and they all raise each other's arms as they celebrate the great matchup. As we crash to commercial break.
16 minutes, 36 seconds.
Cool. Where am I at? Seg 7. Okay. I haven't read these since I wrote these, so I'm doing this all just by reading my thing and going on the fly. Your next match from the circus, the Killer Clown himself, Doink the Clown. Doink makes his way out to the ring, still laughing from messing with Hurricane, and he comes out there celebrating his thing, jumping around with his bucket. It's all empty. He's just being a nutcase as he is. And his opponent, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he is an Olympic gold medalist and an amateur wrestling Hall of Famer, Kurt Angle. Kurt comes out with his hood up, makes his way down to the ring. If my stage could let him raise from the bottom, that would be awesome, but it doesn't. Makes his way down the ring, looks at Doink like, what am I wrestling right now? Kurt just goes right after him, just lays him down with some vicious clotheslines. This is the wrestling machine, Kurt Angle, that we haven't seen in a long time. He really is just laying it into Doink, just beating him down. Doink gets a little bit of offense trying to fight back, but it is all Kurt Angle the whole match. Finally, Kurt hits the Angle Slam, bang, then locks in the ankle lock just for added pressure, and just keeps twisting it until Doink finally taps out screaming, "Here is your winner by submission, Kurt Angle." Kurt celebrating the win, all pumped and jacked, mouthpiece in, and walks out of the ring and up the stage and turns around for the big fingers up and pyro. And we go to commercial break. We get back from commercial break, and we cut to Jake Roberts in the interview area. And Jake says, "You see, at the house show, they jumped me and my steak was taken, but that doesn't matter. Because the worst of two evils is coming, and that's a pissed off Jake the Snake Roberts. I am more evil than the devil himself. I will not take you to hell, but I will take you to that snake pit. So, whoever gets in my way, or whoever steps in the ring with me next, better be prepared to get bit by the snake." And we cut to Hurricane in the back, looking at Doink as Doink's limping in the back, saying, "Ha ha 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 ha! Doink, you lost! What's up with that? You came back here last week and you splashed a water bucket in my face. You came out there with my match tonight and splashed a water bucket in my face, and then you go out there and tap out like the little that you are. See, now the Hurricane sees it this way. Doink. You ain't so much an evil clown as you are the court jester here, and you're just a laughing stock of breakdown. So, Doink, I just gotta say one thing. And good job tonight. And Hurricane surprisingly puts his hand out to shake Doink's hand. Doink looks at it kind of weird and grabs it, and Doink gets shocked by one of those little hand shocker things, and Hurricane runs off, crack-a-lacking, as he's giggling his way back to his locker room. As we fade to commercial break.
12 minutes, 15 seconds.
12 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm doing pretty darn good. We come back from commercial break and we go to a video package. And you hear this music. And it comes up on the big screen. John Morrison is coming to AFW Breakdown. Thursday nights just got the Shaman and Sexy. And the Thursday night delight. Then we cut to Darby Allin back with John Laurinaitis, and John goes, Darby, you're in this big three-way match tonight. What do you think your odds are of winning? And Darby says, John, I don't play odds. I've always defied everything that everybody ever said. Even death itself has been defied by me. So tonight, it's just going to be more of the same. And he turns and walks away. And we go to our entrances for our main event of the evening. Coming out first. Ladies and gentlemen, your first participant in our three-way main event is Darby Allin. Darby makes his way to the ring down on his skateboard. He's soaking around the ring. After that matchup with The Undertaker last week, I'm surprised he's even standing, taking that last ride onto the guardrails. But he's still here, and he's ready for battle tonight in this three-way match. Making his way to the ring, the next competitor. He is the Phenom, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. And Undertaker comes zooming out, rolling through with his motorcycle all the way around the ring. And Undertaker's feeling kind of cocky, looking at Darby like, haha, this kid, I'm going to kill him. And your final participant. From where did his song go? From San Antonio, Texas, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Shawn takes his time going to the ring, so as he's making his way to the ring, we crash to commercial break.
9 minutes, 26 seconds.
For 2 secs. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, we come back to the ring, all three. For Seg 10, all three are staring at each other in the middle of the ring. Taker has already beaten HBK in past times. Him and Darby went to a double count out last week in the open challenge. He's making sure he reminds Darby exactly what he did to him. And Darby's just telling him, like, I'm still standing. I'm not underground yet. And Shawn Michaels is just looking around like, these two are crazy. Oh, all right. Shawn looking kind of not as confident as he usually does. Next thing you know, Darby just takes it right to Taker. Darby laying on Taker. Shawn Michaels just climbs up in the corner, kicks his feet up, and just lets it go for a little bit and watching. Taker pushes Darby off. Darby comes rushing back and eats a big boot. Shawn Michaels runs over there and hits Taker with a big flying forearm. It kips up. Shawn like, yeah, that's why I'm the smart one in this match. And now Darby gets up and Shawn Michaels punches him down. Taker gets up, punches Shawn down. Darby gets back up, Taker punches him down. Shawn Michaels gets back up, he jumps on Taker. Darby on Taker. Oh, both are getting on Taker. They go to whip him off. And Taker goes to clothesline both of them. Shawn ducks. Darby takes the bump. Darby sells up and gets rocked by Taker. Sells back up and gets rocked by Shawn Michaels. Now Taker and Shawn are just ping-ponging Darby, and Darby's looking like a darn ping-pong ball going back and forth scum. And we're having just a great old slugfest. Just the one person isn't throwing any fist. Darby looking really beaten down. And Shawn's pointing to Taker like, go ahead, do what you want to do. Taker whips him off. Another big boot takes off Darby's head. Shawn goes for the sweet chin music. Taker catches it, whips him around, and hits Shawn with a big boot as we go to commercial break.
7 minutes, 13 seconds.
Alrighty. During commercial break, Undertaker was really beaten down on both men. They couldn't get anything going. Shawn selling in the corner. Taker gets Darby up in the last ride. Darby gets out. Shawn hits the super kick on Taker, not getting all of it because he's still selling some of his injuries. Taker goes down. Darby goes up to the corner, jumps off, coffin drop, goes for the cover. Shawn breaks it up at a close 2 3/4. Shawn now getting in on Darby. Whipping Darby. Darby reverses. Shawn does his little flippy up in the corner, comes down. Darby with a big coffin splash into him, back into the corner. Darby looking like he's going to go for another coffin drop. He goes for it, but Taker is on the other side and catches him kind of in a bear hug as he jumped. It was crazy how he caught him. He's swinging him around, turns him around so there's belly to belly. Hoists him up as high as he can. Scoops one arm under his leg. Scoops the other arm under his other leg. Picks him up. Last ride to Darby Allin. Taker does the fist down like he always does at the last ride. Causes him to turn around. And he eats a full-fledged sweet chin music. And Shawn covers Darby. 1, 2, 3. Here is your winner. And moving on in the tournament. For some reason, my music app exited. Moving on in the tournament. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Triple H, Kevin Nash, Diesel, Razor Ramon run down to the ring and start celebrating with Shawn Michaels as he is the first competitor to be in the three-way main event to crown the first AFW Breakdown Champion at Lockdown. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Daredevil Dave Dahl. Your extravaganza is over for tonight, but we'll be back next week with another thrilling episode of AFW Breakdown.
And we fade to black on week 2 of AFW Breakdown. And before we get to Carnage, we have to give you a little taste of the other fine programming on the AFW Network. This week on AFW versus Scam, the Daredevil, El Presidente, and the Peacekeeper go on a figure hunt while making their way from town to town. They notice all the figures on the pegs have for some reason been swapped out for older and cheaper figures. Like this Macho Man, this brand new Legends Macho Man. For some reason, it's a bone crunching action Macho Man, but it's in the same box. This can't be. All the boys look at each other, and in that moment realize it has to be Repack. The boys know that at this point the odds of finding him are probably slim. So defeated, they take a walk to the beer aisle, because that's what you do. If you can't find figures, you got to at least find beer. As they're walking down there, they hear yelling and a commotion, cans flying. People, the people working in the store are trying to calm this irate customer down. Peacekeeper, being the deathmatch nerd that he is, notices that the yelling is coming from none other than Nick Gage. As the deathmatch fanboy he is, the Peacekeeper immediately yells out, "Fighting out of National Park, New Jersey, with an official weight of 208 pounds, representing that MDK gang, representing all his boys locked up in that cell, Eastern Bloc. Rest in peace, Big Nate Hatred. Rest in peace, his brother, Justice Payne. It's MDK all day. Nick Gage." Gage cuts in right at the end of this fantastic intro and says, "Yo, like, thank the intro or whatever, we got a real problem here. Swapped out my natty lights for some of that Zack Ryder PBR." The boys realize exactly what has happened in this moment. So they pick up this can of Natty Light, peel the label back, and realize that yes, in fact, it has been repackaged as Pabst Blue Ribbon. They quickly see a man dressed in all black with an X-Acto knife, a tape dispenser, and a backpack filled with cheap Lucy bone crunchers falling out of it. The boys already know what this is. Who this is. It's Repack. So the boys chase down Repack, but they lose Gage because, you know, Gage isn't running that hard that often. He's just carving people up. So they give chase. Every now and again he knocks over a stack of boxes and slows the boys down. He's almost to the door. The moment has almost come. He has almost escaped, and all of a sudden runs into a bundle of light tubes that pop. Fills the store. The spooky dust fills the air. It's Nick Gage. He says, "That for with my beer, you..." A beaten Repack limps his way to the Scammobile. As they drive him away, he yells, "You haven't seen the last of me, AFW." Nick Gage looks to the boys and says, "You know what? You guys are all right. All three of you are gang affiliated. DK." Tune in next week for another exciting episode of AFW vs. Scam. And we are back just in time for Carnage, our second show of the night.
I may or
Let's
may
see
not
if,
have got yelled at.
Hey man, that's what we're here for, you know. We sometimes you get a little loud.
I am in my basement, so like, not thinking. My mother-in-law lives on the first floor, not the second floor. So yeah.
Hey man, I get it. I'm probably getting eye rolls in my living room right now. But this makes us even more like FWF if we didn't have somebody yelling at us for being too loud. And now it is time for AFW Carnage. Jerry, are you ready, sir?
I am. Just 1 second. I gotta put my MDK shirt on my figure.
Wait, where's Dilbert at?
He's over there in the stack.
Yeah, he's over there in the stack. He's chilling, you know. He comes out when the money's right.
Right.
He's gang affiliated. I mean, he was gang affiliated before FW versus Scam.
I mean, Daredevil just had him out a few minutes ago just to give him a stunner several times. You know. That's about the. That's about the only thing he was good for.
I'm the only one in this trio that actually wrestles, so
I have no heat
backyard
yet.
wrestled
that doesn't count.
in 2 feds.
Oh my!
That's right. 2
Rick
feds.
Rude status.
Not the same night.
Oh,
One was in high school, one was in college. So you know.
hey man, you know I wrestled on the trampolines back in the day. We just didn't, you know, we didn't
all
think to
did.
give it a name.
We
Look,
all
if I had a nickel for every time I gave somebody a power bomb, I'm 6'5" now. At 13, I was every bit of 6'2". I was the giant. All right, Jerry, you ready?
I am ready.
Backyard dreams aside. All right, the clock
win the
starts
title.
now. You are on the clock.
It's Thursday. You know what that means.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
Boom, 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 boom. Welcome to AFW Carnage, the A show. Last week, we saw a hell of a main event as Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage defeated The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin when Stone Cold Steve Austin accidentally stunned his own partner. What's going to happen this week? Will we see more fallout from that? We might if I could find the theme song for the first guy to come out. That's the problem is like you've got to you'll get more familiar with this as you go along about where stuff is like.
Yes, man! The Rock is cooking.
Rock comes out to kick off this episode of Carnage. He gets down to the ring, and FYI, guys, Dave kept making fun of me for my script, so I'm flying bullet points this week. So we're going to try this out for an episode or two. Kind of see how this goes. We're going to fly improv. All right. Anyways, Rock comes out, gets on the microphone, and goes. Now, last week, I was sitting there, and Stone Cold Steve Austin gave me the stunner. And then Hulk Hogan gave me the big boot. And then I got pinned 1, 2, 3 after a leg drop. And I'm going to pretend that that was a mistake. We all make mistakes. All that I need to hear out of Stone Cold's mouth is, I'm sorry. So, Austin, why don't you come down here and explain yourself? Stone Cold comes down to the ring, gets a microphone, and goes, Rock, I think those are 2 words that aren't in my vocabulary. I'm not sorry for what I did last week. I'd give you a stunner. I'd give your dad a stunner. I'd give your granddad a stunner. I'd even give your grandma a stunner if it helps me get to that Carnage World Championship. The Rock kind of starts taking offense and like, it wasn't an accident. You meant to do that. Meant to do it, didn't meant to do it. It happened. Stone Cold does what Stone Cold does. And Stone Cold's going to get his hands raised at the end of the night, son. They start to kind of get heated a little bit. When suddenly, it's everybody's favorite part of the night, see? Yeah, baby. Boom, 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 boom. Chris Jericho comes down, gets a microphone, and gets into the ring. Austin and Rock are both kind of eyeing him like, what's he doing here? Gentlemen, it seems to me that last week when you guys were having your world champion reunion, you left out one of the best world champions of all time. You left out Chris Jericho, the Ayatollah of rock and roll, the man of 1,004 holds. Rock, I counted everyone that you've ever done. I saw it on some Smarks list last week, and you only known 57. I know 1,004. Matter of fact, I don't even know why you guys were in the ring because I beat you both on the same night. So, you guys are talking about getting title shots. What about me? What about Jericho? Sorry, my phone went to blank. But I do have this one queued up. The right one this time. Maybe. There it is. Flair comes down to the ring. Gets on the microphone. Ooh. And that's it. Now that that's out of the way, gentlemen, I think I've got an idea. You see, Rock and Austin, I think you guys have what we like to call some personal issues. And sometimes, as Vince McMahon used to say, brothers don't fight, brothers hug. So tonight, I'm going to make a tag team match. You guys get a shot at redemption to prove yourself as a team. So it's going to be Austin and Rock on one side of the ring. It's going to be Jericho on the other. And Jericho, you can go back in that back and you can find a partner, or you can't. Because like you said, you beat them both in the same night before. So even if it's 1-on-2 tonight, then maybe you got a leg up on them already. But let's up the ante just a little bit more. You see, we've got this main event coming up here at Genesis. We've got the absolute Carnage match that we are going to need 10 competitors in. I'm going to go ahead, and after that stellar main event last week, I'm going to go ahead and say the first two from their big main event win are going to be Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage are the first two competitors in there. The next ones will be the winner of our main event tonight. So, Jericho, you want to say you're one of the best world champions of all time? Prove it and get into that absolute Carnage match tonight. Jericho's spouting off as we go to commercial break.
23 minutes, 3 seconds.
That's a pretty long time for just going on the fly. If I had a script, it probably would have been longer, sadly. But, you know, it is what it is. Seg 2. Dave's doing something up there. Who's that?
There's Carl Weathers.
Oh, okay.
Got a stew
Apollo
going,
Creed.
Right,
We got time to bleed.
I ditched the cat for the figure. Continue.
Okay, yes. Ready? Sorry. Oh, I was doing it to him the
3,
entire
2,
time.
1.
So.
You didn't get the new song, you suck.
No, it's got to be Fly of the Valkyries, man. Like, come on.
It has part of it in there.
Well, maybe if
Quit interrupting or you're getting penalized, Dave.
I tell you what, if he beats Kenny Omega, I'll switch to it. How about that? There you go, Daniel Bryan. Just
Deal.
Win. Okay. Anyways, Daniel Bryan makes his way out for our next match, and his opponent making his AFW debut. Yeah, baby. AJ Styles. Oh, not Eddie Guerrero. Sorry. What are they doing in the truck, man? Come on, get your act together, guys. Okay, back to it. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. And we just got word from Commissioner Ric Flair that this is a qualifying match for the Absolute Carnage match. These two guys have been around for a long time. We've seen them together in Ring of Honor. But sadly, outside of a few, they had a little bit of a brief into that. But their best work was behind them, so we think, until they got here to Carnage. So we see them both start off with a nice, clean handshake, just like they were in Ring of Honor. The guys go back and forth with several maneuvers. AJ gets Daniel Bryan over to the ropes. Pele kick. Daniel Bryan goes spilling to the outside. AJ goes off the ropes. Springboards up to the top. 450 splash onto the outside. Both men are down. The referee's trying to get control of this as we cut to commercial break. Seg 3. Come back to AJ and Daniel Bryan still going at it tooth and nail. This is back and forth action. Who's going to win? Nobody knows. Gets down to Daniel Bryan. Goes down after a pretty nice little forearm shot. AJ goes to the outside, springboard off the ropes. He goes for the phenomenal forearm, but Daniel Bryan ducks, and the referee gets caught in it. The referee goes down. AJ stunned, looking at the referee, trying to shake him awake. Daniel Bryan raises up, goes over, knocks over AJ with a blow to the back, and then hooks him in the cat mutilation. AJ's screaming in pain. He's writhing. He wants to tap out, but the referee's not there. When suddenly, who's this out of the crowd? Is that? It's Brutus, the beefcake, the BTFBB. He runs in, grabs a steel chair, slides into the ring, goes over, and cracks it over the back of Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's writhing in pain. He lifts him up, grabs him by the head of the hair, DDT onto the chair. He grabs the chair and slides to the outside. AJ was turned. AJ didn't even see what happened. AJ turns around, sees Daniel Bryan on the ground, picks him up, hits him in the Styles Clash. The referee recovers. 1, 2, 3. AJ Styles is moving on to the Absolute Carnage match. AJ exits the ring, and then Brutus hops back in. Brutus pulls out those shears and goes to cut off a piece of Bryan's hair, but Bryan escapes before we can see any resolution to this. What is going on? Why is the BTFBB going after Daniel Bryan here as we cut to commercial break?
18 minutes, 13 seconds.
Seg 4. We see Bret Hart in the back with Mean Gene Okerlund. He's talking about how last week he should have beat Eddie Guerrero, and this week he's going to get his first win when he faces Edge later tonight in a qualifying match for Absolute Carnage. We then cut to Chris Jericho walking around the back looking for a partner. He goes by several different people. He goes by the BTFBB, looks him up and down, shakes his head no, and walks off. He goes by the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior snarls at him, and Jericho just backs off and keeps going. It looks like Jericho's having a really, really rough time trying to find a partner as we cut to commercial break. Seg 5. This is another qualifying match. We got a lot of qualifying matches here. Got to have a lot of them when you got 10 people to get into that match. Let's see. I don't know if I have this. Oh, I don't have this guy's song on here. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. 16 minutes, 50 seconds.
Uh-oh. There it is. Mick Foley makes his way out to the ring. He is not dressed as Mick Foley, as Cactus Jack, or as Dude Love, but he is back in that Mankind attire. Looks like he's going back to the deranged kind of serious side of Mick Foley that we've seen in the past. And his opponent making his debut. Let's see if you guys remember this one. Yeah. Boom, boom. That's right. It's the loose cannon, Brian Pillman. And you see here my Brian Pillman with the cane and the custom shirt there to look like the loose cannon. He's awesome looking. That's right. Look, check that out on Figure Photography. Coming up later. Pillman gets on the mic before the match and looks over at Foley and goes, Mick, I've known you for a long time. I respect you. Mr. Referee, I respect you. But what I don't respect is that piece of trash in the back, Rick beep, Flair. But ladies and gentlemen, we do not condone that kind of language from this loose cannon. Pillman continues. I am not cleared to wrestle. This ankle is not ready to go, Mick. But Flair didn't want to hear it. Flair said if I didn't come out here, that he was going to evict me. He was going to make sure that I was bankrupt, make sure that I was out on the street. So I've got no choice but to come out of here. But I'm going to do this the Pillman way. So, Mr. Referee, ring that bell. The referee rings the bell. Ding, ding, ding. Pillman takes his cane, looks at Foley, just runs over and cracks him across the skull with it. Foley goes down in one shot. The referee rings for the bell for disqualification there to Pillman. And your winner by disqualification and advancing to the Absolute Carnage match, Mick Foley. Pillman looks like he's proud of himself that he's kind of beat the system here by quote-unquote competing and getting the better of Ric Flair as we cut to commercial break.
13 minutes, 43 seconds.
Now for this one, it's not on Spotify. You got to go to YouTube for this one. We come back to the Firefly Funhouse, and we see Bray Wyatt standing there. Boys and girls, last week we found a friend. You see, anytime you're into a new place, it's always good to see people who got the same interest, people who are just like you, because that's the best way to make best friends. And that's what I did last week. I found someone who's not like me, but someone who's like him. All we have to do is let them meet. So that's what we're going to start doing. Because he needs to meet him. Right, comma? As we cut to commercial break. What's he talking about? I don't know. Awful cryptic stuff. All right. Seg 7. Let's get back to Spotify for our music.
12 minutes, 8 seconds.
Bret Hart comes out for his qualifying match against this man. It's Edge coming out with his tag team partner Christian. Of course, last week we saw Edge and Christian get beat down by Matt Cardona and Zach, or Matt Cardona is Zach, right? Matt Cardona and Brian Myers.
JR moment.
Yeah, that is a JR moment, isn't it? Yeah. Get beat down by them last week. Both Edge and Bret Hart have something to prove here tonight, not only to qualify for the Absolute Carnage match, but also because both men had some issues last week. Need to get that first victory here in the Carnage brand. So we start off, nice clean handshake from both men. We start off with a couple of good back and forth action, both men trying to get the better of each other. We get down to Bret looking to go for a Russian leg sweep. Edge ducks out of it. Edge turns around, clotheslines him and Bret Hart both over the top rope. They go tumbling down to the floor. The referee goes out to kind of get both men kind of waking up and check on them here as we cut to commercial break.
10 minutes, 30 seconds.
Come back for the finale of this Bret Hart and Edge match. Edge looks to be, he starts to gain control when all of a sudden Matt Cardona and Brian Myers run out. Christian goes into the aisleway to meet them both, and they start attacking Christian and laying him out. Edge comes out to run him off and chases him to the back. Bret Hart's kind of wondering, like, what's going on? The referee starts that 10 count and gets to 10. Ding, 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 ding. Bret Hart is your winner and qualifier for the Absolute Carnage match. But then, before Bret can even turn around, it's Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero comes out with a steel chair, lays out Bret Hart with a big boulder to the back, and just wails on him repeatedly. Throws down the chair, saunters off, because he got the better of Bret Hart for a second week in a row. We cut to the back, and we see Chris Jericho running out of time because his match is up next. Who does he have for a partner? It looks like he's scrambling. He's going around the production agents and kind of looking at them, seeing if anybody will do it. He turns the corner and sees Elias. I've got that line somewhere. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here we go. Got Elias. Mr. Jericho, I know you ain't found no partner yet. Last week, man, I just wanted to try to prove myself and get that opportunity here but it just didn't work out. I just want another shot, man. Come on, and if you need a partner for tonight, I got your back, man. That's whatever it takes. He's even wearing a little bit of the bubbly T-shirt that came with that ringside exclusive little bit of the bubbly Chris Jericho figure. Looks so nice on Elias. Look at that. Yeah. Anyways, Jericho goes, you know what, Elias, you're better than nothing, I guess. So come on, let's go to the ring. As we cut to commercial break.
8 minutes, 5 seconds.
We come back to backstage. We got Hulk Hogan standing there with Mean Gene. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Last week, Macho Man and I got the win. And then Flair did the right thing, and he put me in the match tonight. Or put me in the match at Genesis, where Hulk Hogan is going to reign supreme. So Hulkamaniacs, take your vitamins, say your prayers, and let's get the job done. As we cut to the ring now for our main event. The Rock comes out and gets inside the ring, waiting for his tag team partner. The thing about Austin's music is you can play like 3 seconds of it, and then it gets the point across.
Everybody knows that glass shatters.
Yep. And their opponents. Inside. The entire crowd starting to sing the song with him. He might be the heel, but he's number one in your hearts, folks.
Run away. I am cold like the...
That cut off too soon for you?
I'll cut off when you cut off.
As we cut to commercial break, as the crowd's sitting there singing and Jericho makes his entrance. Seg number 10. We are underway. And it looks like Jericho's going to let Elias start this off against The Rock. Ding, ding, ding. It's pretty one-sided, as you'd imagine. The Rock is just kind of dancing around, having his way with Elias. Elias eventually gets away and scrambles to the corner and tags in Jericho. Jericho doesn't really want to be back in this match, but he's got no choice. Jericho comes in. Austin wants a tag. Austin gets that hot tag and goes over back and forth until a little bit. Then Austin starts landing some rights, lefts, right, stomping a mud hole into Chris Jericho as we cut to commercial break.
5 minutes, 37 seconds.
For Seg 11. 1. We come back. Jericho and Elias have now gained the upper hand. The Rock is now the legal man. They have gained the upper hand. On to The Rock. The back and forth action. It's just, they're wearing The Rock down. The Rock eventually gets up, gets the upper hand, goes to make that hot tag, but Austin jumps down. Austin's not there for the hot tag. He turns around. Elias hits him with a DDT. Jericho runs over, hits the lion salt. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Your winner and qualifying for Absolute Carnage, Chris Jericho. The Rock starts to kind of get up, and he's confused as by what happened. Austin gets back in the ring. The Rock looks at him, raises his hand up like, what? Why'd you not take the tag? Austin, kick to the gut. Stone Cold Stunner. It looks like whatever friendship had here is gone quickly as we fade to commercial, or fade to black, because that's the end of the show. And that's it.
What a finish for the Carnage brand. Good old stunner fade to black. Feel like I'm back in the late '90s.
But it's not, because Jericho was there. So.
That's right.
It's new.
There you have it, folks. Week 2 of the Thursday Night Throwdown, which is the placekeeper until I find something better, is in the books. For myself, the Commissioner, for El Presidente, Jerry Cook, and for Daredevil, Dave Dahl. This is AFW signing out. Until next
Peace
week.
out.